they were taking the aircraft out of service. In order to take an aircraft out of service, there's levels. There has to be a chain of communication.
What just happened?
They're kicking us off the plane. They forgot to put gas, and the tires are flat. And they need to do an oil change, so we need to change planes.
Okay, give my vlog another update.
So this is starting to be my vlog, and my camera person is behind. The duct tape they put on the wing came off again, so we cannot do that. So we're going with another plane that the duct tape is more securely put on the wing.
How do we feel?
Hot, sweaty.
Cold. It's not even that bad.
Down. Yeah.
Don't feel my pinky toe. It's so cold, but this is a really pretty place. We're gonna do a prediction of how we're gonna do it the first day.
I think I'm gonna fall like the whole trip. I'm ready.
I think I'm gonna be good. I think I'm gonna be a pro on the first day.
We'll see.
We'll see about that. Are you ready?
I'm not.
I honestly can't feel. From 1 to 10, how good do you think you're gonna do today?
5.
A 5? Really?
What did she say?
She said a 5. What about you?
About a 4.
Really? No, I have hopes on you. I think I'm gonna do a 7. Yeah? Pretty confident. We're getting the boots. Okay. We are ready. Angie se está poniendo ready. Y Alan también. It looks like we're gonna play Call of Duty. Okay, so we are gonna start practicing.
A few moments later.
Hi, so what's going on today?
I broke my neck.
Stop. Pick a thumbnail caption.
Concussion, first day skiing.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think that's sounding good. First day skiing, concussion. Or...
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you said I flew off the mountain.
Yeah, flew off the mountain, rolled I don't know what happened.
And you're just remembering arguing with a JetBlue. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
I guess at some point he was rude to you and your sister. I didn't see it, so I didn't take you guys seriously because your sister told you to talk to him.
Wait, I remember. Wait, something like that. I remember I remember everything. I remember I thought this was whole a dream. I remember we were gonna get in the boarding line, and then he was like, oh, clear the boarding line. Oh, we just moved out, whatever.
You asked him nicely. You're like, hey, I just wanted to request.
Oh, yeah, because my sister told me
Your sister told you to do it.
Yeah.
And then when you started telling her, your sister was with me, and she's like, like, yeah, it's crazy because he actually stopped the line. Like, he stopped his job, and everybody was rushing. We're all late just to go, like, tell you off. Like, just to go, like, hey, he threatened you, actually.
He threatened me to freaking kick me out of the plane.
Yeah, he's like...
like, I'm requesting you nicely. Plus, like, you should be treating us nicer.
Yeah, because we're already, like, everybody's late. Like, we're all a little frustrated, but you were being fine. You were not...
I would have fought back, but I really didn't want to get kicked out of the plane.
Yeah, you worked hard for the trip.
Yes.
For months.
Well, now I'm working hard to pay this bill.
We'll see. Like, it's just like a part of life thing, you know? It's like nothing.
Well,
it was gonna happen sooner or later. Like something, just life. I mean, like, you know. And in Spanish, we say un mensaje para la posteridad, like for your future self. La posteridad, for the future. And maybe for your mom someday.
Wait, I don't know.
Well, just for your mom, maybe. ¿Qué le quieres decir a tu mamá?
Que no te estreses.
No te estreses.
I'm okay. Yeah, you should really not tell her.
Okay.
Maybe we shouldn't tell her at all.
No.
Until
5
I'm
years?
home.
Okay.
Until I'm home.
¿Y qué le dirías a Kiara? Because you know she gets a little like nervous, like sad.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't tell her.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
No, what do you mean? I'm posting this on YouTube. This is the best thumbnail video ever.
No al hospital en Miami, viene acá a Nueva York. No, probando. Okay, so now we're gonna interview. I don't like this lighting, but it's okay. We're gonna interview them.
Maria Paula. She was up in the mountain with my sister, her fiance, and their son. We were separate. We were at the bottom of the mountain, but we were walking to the gondola to get on find some other green routes that we hadn't tried.
So I was waiting for Alan. Then we were about to go into the gondola, and then he received a call, and I don't know who it was. I don't know, but then I saw his face, and he was like having like a worried face. And I was like, he was not telling me, like, because I know, like, if that was something, like, not important, he was like, oh, this happened, or my mom calling that, I don't know, she needs something, or Natalie needs something, or are we meeting someone, I don't know. But no, like, he wasn't telling me, like, what was happening. And I just saw him, like, he nodding his face. Yeah, then Alan was saying, like, oh, we need to leave. And then I assumed it was Natalie because he was like, okay, so what? Like, I wait for you to call me and tell me what's next, or where should I meet you? I guess then Natalie said something to him. But then Alan went to talk with, like, one of the people, like, working at the park. Then is when I figured it out. Like, it was Natalie. Like, Paula was in the mountain skiing with them. And he wasn't telling me directly, oh, this is happening. Pues entonces, asumiendo como que juntando todas esas cosas, yo dije, no, o sea, esto significa como que es Paula, como que no puede ser otra cosa, porque ya me hubiera dicho, y ya nos tenemos cuenta todas las cosas que dije.
Yeah, so we were walking to the gondola, and then I received a call from Corey, actually. I guess you didn't know. And then he said, hey, Maria had a fall, and then whatever. He said some other things. This is the part that I feel is hard, like rehashing some details. It is a little hard for me. I also don't want it to be hard for you. So then that just makes me like, I want to tell you like all of the details. But he just told me it was a bad hit, and that they were calling like I don't know what they're calling, the first 8 people that are gonna check on you, and then they're gonna, I guess, take you somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, so he told me like. They were worried because of you hit probably like your head, so you were like behaving a little funny, and it seems like you didn't remember some things that they were asking you. When someone exhibits those type of behaviors, like it could be a concussion. Like, I told him, let me know like what's gonna happen next. So I'm gonna get everybody else because obviously there's 10 of us in a family trip. At that point is when I started looking at her and shaking my head, but I was telling her like, no, like we're not going anymore on the gondola. But yeah, but she knows my face, so she probably, I don't know. I didn't think I was doing anything. So before I told her anything, I wanted to talk to one of the park employees, and I told them what happened. That my sister fell. They told me they're gonna take her somewhere, but I couldn't understand like where would they take her next? Can you tell me? And tell me yes, to the aid station. It's called, like, which is like the first aid like clinic, I guess. So I actually left her like just like standing there with like the skis. Like she had no idea what was going on. She just saw that I received the call, then she saw me leave, and then she saw me come back. And then I told her, I'm like, okay, look, Maria Paula had a a little accident. I think she's fine. Like, I heard her, like they're talking to her like right on the line. But they're gonna bring it down to like the clinic. So I already found out where it is. So we're gonna head over there.
Bueno, entonces cuando Alan me dijo que te había pasado algo, entonces me sentí mal, me sentí muy muy triste porque no sé, sentía como que por haber estado como que en otra vaina no puse cuidado y como que no estaba ahí contigo como que cuidándote o protegiéndote o como no sé, te dejé esperando antes y pronto hubiera estado contigo y no te pasaba algo, entonces me sentí como culpable y responsable de lo que te había pasado. Entonces obviamente me sentía mal y obviamente como que ese momento a donde le vienen como que malos pensamientos, ¿no? Como que lo peor y sobre todo porque yo sentía como que no me han llamado a mí como que para decírmelo, sino que han llamado a Alan y como que obviamente hay personas que cuando pasa algo grave como que primero lo que le dicen a uno es como que sí, no pasó nada, pero en realidad como que sí pasa algo, ¿no? Entonces, ¿sabes? Como que me estaban diciendo algo así para calmarme y tranquilizarme. Entonces como que se me vino muchos pensamientos malos, como que ha pasado lo peor, ¿no? Entonces por eso como que, bueno, luego caminamos rápido hacia la clínica de First Aid y entonces obviamente ahí me puse muy emocional y te vi y pues obviamente como que no me importó como que te estaban atendiendo y había otra gente ahí como que el doctor y yo que sé Cory y Natalie, sino que como que lo único primero que hice fue como que abrazarte. Obviamente como que me dio mucha emoción como que de verte, de poder abrazarte, de como que te estaba escuchando y como que no sabía como que en realidad qué había pasado, pero pues como que te vi como que consciente al menos, ¿no? Como que estabas bien aparentemente, ¿no? Ya estabas como, o sea, tenías la máscara como chorreada, habías estado llorando aparentemente, pero cuando llegamos no estabas llorando. Pero yo cuando comencé a llorar, tú te reíste y luego dijiste como que, what, stop crying, then you're going to make me cry. Y lloraste un poquito, pero de ahí ya se te paró.
Like your behavior was a little bit like you were still kind of in shock of everything, and you're still, you weren't talking much, and you're kind of like absorbing everything, like what is kind of going on. And then she got there and she cried, and then you cried.
Y bueno, de ahí ya estaba llegando la ambulancia y pues fui yo la que te acompañó. Me mandaron en el asiento de adelante, pero pues durante todo ese recorrido yo fui la que te acompañó al hospital, a emergencias. Y nada, de ahí ya estuve contigo hasta que te soltaron, hasta que te dieron release del hospital.
Backtracking a little bit. So when I first told her, she's very I mean, like anybody would, but I just know her for certain scary things. If it has to deal with you, especially, she's usually would like break down. But she had like a little moment, and then we just walked to get all to drop off the skis and to go to you. So she did a really good job, and I'm very proud of her for holding it together until she saw you, and then she kind of became a lot more emotional, which I perfectly understood. I think she was more happy just to see you. You seemed obviously physically fine. You were just like a little bit just quiet, like a little bit in shock at that point. But the doctor was asking you questions. It seems like you did remember people's names. Initially, you didn't remember even like where you were staying, like here in this Airbnb. When you talk to Corey and them, they'll tell you like your first reaction. I guess I'll tell you something. It'll be a mix of funny, but I'm sure it'll also be scary. But I think funny enough that you'll be okay. I hope. I don't know. They asked you for your ski pass, or your ski lift ticket, which is for this park. It's like a little credit card size thing, and you're like, no, I don't know. Like I don't know what that is. Like what does that look like? They asked, and then you're like, oh, okay, no, don't worry. So they started feeling your clothes, and they found it on your jacket, and they took it off. And I don't know if it was me or someone else.
No, el doctor.
Entonces el doctor asked you like, oh hey, like have you ever seen this before? And you're like, no, I don't know what that is. Yeah.
I don't remember none of this.
So when we were going there to the first stage, we had to like climb. We had to go down to like the side of the parking lot and then up like a steep snow. It was like very hard. Like we had to like climb and it was icy and snowy. And then we were carrying like those huge like ski boots, and we couldn't carry them. We kept falling, so we just had to throw them on the side, and we just left them there actually. And then we went to the clinic to see you, and we left those things like out by the mountain. So after she went with you, I had to go back and get them. And then I started calling my mom because my mom was with my aunt and my cousin. My aunt and my cousin, they don't have internet. Only my mom does here because they're visiting from out of the country. So then my mom.
You're gonna hear that.
Yeah, so then my mom. Dang, crazy person. Vas a quedar igual grabada. Yeah, so that became super stressful. Usually when things happen in our family, like I'm the better person at like keeping the composure and trying to analyze everything to make sure everything's like flowing correctly, even though it's a hard situation. And I was definitely doing that, but internally, I was just not enjoying the situation. Anyway, so then I picked up the boots from the mountain. I was started calling my mom, but particularly that day, I had called her earlier in the day multiple times for other issues, and she wasn't picking up the phone. And I was already feeling like a little frustrated, but it wasn't important. And then this happened, and then it became important. And then I'm calling her and calling her and calling her and calling her and calling her, and she's not picking up the phone. So I started becoming like very, very like upset and irritated. So and I went like everywhere, like in the base station. I went to the rental place. I went to some other place. Then I went to the cafeteria. I couldn't find it. And then eventually I decided to look at our family GPS. I thought about that late. In hindsight, I think it would have been okay if I would have just left, which is I think what I should have done. I should have just left to follow her, to follow you, to follow both of you. It was really important for me and for both of us that for me to be there, like with her and with you. She puts a lot of confidence in me to speak to like healthcare people and to be like a second set of eyes and ears to listen. Like I want her to be calm, but I know I still need to be prepared for like worst case. So I really, really wanted to be there. I spent so much time looking for them. I finally found them, and we had to like walk all the way down to the car. Then we started driving, and that was hard actually because this was a ski mountain, so we had to drive like over 50 minutes to Glen Falls, which is where the hospital, I guess the nearest hospital or nearest emergency room was. I don't know. So it's almost an hour drive, which is for us is pretty hard because we come from a city where I literally have a hospital like 5 minutes away. I have multiple, and then I have another hospital 10 minutes away. Like there's just so many hospitals everywhere. So that feels pretty hard because it feels like such an important moment and situation that I'm used to be able to deal with faster. And I'm driving 15 minutes behind you guys in the ambulance, and it's taking so long. Then I got to the hospital. When you guys went in the hospital, they didn't let her go in with you for a while. I think, but later you did, right? Later you did sit with her, and how was she when you were first talking to her?
No, estaba callada. Nada, sí recuerdo como, pues, que te pusiste emocional porque no recordabas cómo te habías caído o como que qué te había pasado. Y eso sí, como que te pusiste emocional. Pero nada, pues te dije como que nada, que tranquila, que todo va a estar bien. Y de ahí ya llegaste.
I do actually remember that. I think that's probably one of my first memories from the hospital.
Sometimes with concussions, I learned that I think it's called syncope. Syncope. That people tend not to talk sometimes. The doctor told me that is like a little normal. So then finally, when I got there, we had to switch places because in this hospital they don't allow more than one visitor, it was tough. It was different than the hospitals that we've been to because they had like metal detectors and like armed guards with like bulletproof vests, or at least it looked like that. We were there for like
Como 4 o 5 horas.
yeah, like 4 or 5 hours total. I mean, there was like a lot of waiting. I want to talk to the nurses, to the doctors. They were gonna do a CAT scan, an X-ray to make sure your vertebrae was fine. Oh, the whole time you had a neck brace. They put it at the mountain, which I think that was pretty hard for you, and that was starting to get very uncomfortable for you. And you had a hard time breathing, and you were being like so quiet, and that was hard for me because well, you and I we talk a lot, so it was really hard to just you being like so quiet. And you know how I am with you. Like sometimes I probe and I talk and I try to get you to say things, and then I would make you cry, like you start crying, like that you just feel bad and that you're sorry at first.
Did we get the results?
Yeah.
And I was fine?
Yeah, that's the only reason you're here. That's the only reason we left the hospital.
Okay.
They were very busy. They had people like on the hallways, like on beds. And there was like another family dressed like skiing, and then he looked at me, he's like, oh, you, and then he laughed. He's like, ha ha ha, me too. I was like feeling a little more concerned, I suppose. So I didn't, I couldn't like laugh with him. He was like, haha, and I'm like, I'm like, oh yeah. I showed you my ski pass, and I'm like, oh, by the way, have I shown you this before? Have you seen it? And at first you actually said like, no, I don't think you showed me that before. And I just told you like, oh, I'll forget about it. I'll tell you later. That stayed with me, and obviously that didn't feel good for me. But what was good is that the next time I showed it to you, you're like, yeah, like that's the ski pass. And then I think one of the first signs that she was feeling more like herself is when I told you the story about the JetBlue flight attendant.
Oh yeah.
Because our flight had gotten delayed and we had to switch planes. I told you that, and then you're like, oh my god,
Oh my god, yes.
that wasn't a dream.
Oh, I remember everything. I remember that. Oh, I thought this was all a dream.
And then you're like, oh no, now I'm not happy that I know it's real, because that guy kind of made me mad. And I started showing you pictures on my phone actually of the whole trip and Christmas. I don't know how it works, but like everything started to like mesh back, and like that started making me feel like a lot better. You started laughing so much more. You're like, man, you know what? I'm feeling so much confident. Like I want to go. You kept repeating that. I'm ready to ski tomorrow.
So we are here. Hey, where's everybody?
And then you called Liz, you guys talked and you laughed, and that was like good. And then your mom started video calling you and you hadn't told her yet. So that was another scary thing. Just as scary. But that's for next episode. I don't know. We got the results back, so they were able to take the brace off, you know, just to leave, and they checked all your neurological signs, and everything looked pretty good. Like as far as like your balance, your feelings. You weren't having any extreme headaches or throwing up. Fortunately, you know, just grateful. Que más? I think that's it. Then yeah, then you got like, you know, I left you alone. You got dressed. We came out. You guys hugged again, and then nothing. Yeah, there's probably so much more.
Adios.
Thank you guys for coming to my interview session with Maria Paula and her, I don't know, crazy experiences. Okay, goodbye. Do the piece that Alan.
Peace.
I'm not very good at storytelling this year.
It's okay. Yeah.
Skiing in the first new green trail from my family.
And then you and Paula got off the lift, and I came on after you, and then I passed you to try and watch you guys ski. And
All of a sudden,
Maria Paula started coming down the hill rather quickly, and I kept telling her to do her pie. I told her to turn left. I noticed she wasn't doing anything, and she was gaining speed. And
'Cause it was all
I turned around
fast.
to chase her, because she was going very quickly. And then I saw a guy kind of get out in front of her, and it looks like she lost all of her senses on how to turn and slow down. And then I just saw her flip in the air. Her first right ski went underneath her, her left ski went up in the air with the rest of her body, and then she landed on her back and slid down about 10 to 15 feet. And then I caught up to her, and she was unconscious for probably about 10 to 15 seconds.
no,
Maybe
5 to 10. Every time it keeps getting longer.
Well, I keep saying 10.
It was 5 to 10 on the day, now it's 10 to 15, it's 5.
Okay, 5 to 10. Let's go with 5 to 10. I didn't have a stopwatch on, so. And then she said, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Please take the helmet off. And I couldn't figure out how to take the helmet off. And then she's like, red. So I took the red thing off.
And then you were on the snow, and then you put her head on your lap, and you were like, it's okay. And you start asking her questions, you know, what's your name, who am I, who are you, and then you couldn't remember what happened. Like, how did I fall, what happened, how did I
thought
get
you
here?
fell from the chairlift. I kept saying that. And then, we notified one of the rescue workers. And then they brought down the, what do they call it, basket, I guess? The rescue basket. And put you in, and kind of asked you some questions, and you kept repeating, your head hurt, your top of your head hurt, the top of your head hurt. And we asked you a bunch of questions about like your memory, and it seemed like you weren't remembering anything. You did remember our names though, so that was good. So that's how we knew it wasn't like a full concussion.
And here you are.
Then
and
we-
the next day,
Then we rode down to
you got on the slopes again.
Yeah.
We called Alan at some point, and then we rode down the slopes with the emergency workers.
Well, thank you so much. And then I was here to live through. Ta-da!
Like, send me some.
Oh my god, this is actually such a cute place to take pictures.
enough content.
Yeah.
I'll do the piece for you. Peace. Subscribe and follow.